Well, hey, couples, in this sketch, we're going to help set up a conversation for you as a couple. We call it the marriage checkup conversation. We just have 3 questions that you could use over and over again just to check in on your marriage and see how you're doing. So here's the first question. How am I doing with sharing the burdens of family life? Now, this includes things like doing chores around the house, how you're doing with responsibilities with the kids, and even how you're spending your money. This is a great question to check in with each other many times throughout your marriage. And then the follow-up question you'd want to ask is, how can I do better? Now, this is important because this is where you can get more specific and you can really give practical feedback to your spouse on how they're doing in each of those areas. And that helps you to know how to improve in the future. So that's your first question. Now, let's look at the second. How am I doing at making our relationship a priority? Now, again, this is going to get more into how your spouse feels like you're doing at preferring them, paying attention to them, building into the marriage. And this is important if you want your spouse to feel like you are as committed to them as they are to you. And then here's the follow-up to that. How can I be better? Now, though, again, this is where you can get more specific of, well, I don't feel like we're getting out on date nights. I don't feel like when you come home from work that you're even paying any attention to me. You go right to the kids, or you care more about going out with your friends to relax or to go to book club or whatever. And this is where you can be honest about how you feel like you're doing at prioritizing the relationship and how you need to improve. Okay, so that was our second question. Now let's move to the last one. And here it is. How am I doing with communication? Now, this is very specific to how are you communicating and talking to one another? Is one of you just coming home from work in a rage and angry all the time that makes the other person want to withdraw? Are you always trying to read your spouse's mind and you never know from one day to the next what's going on? How are you feeling? Communication is really important. So this is a good question to ask. How are we doing in that area of communicating our expectations, our feelings, and our thoughts? And then the follow-up to that is, how can I improve? So this is where you need to tell your spouse, I need you to talk to me more like this. I need you to not sound so harsh, or I need your body language not to look so closed. Or I need you to just be really specific about what your expectations are and just give feedback to one another about how you do at communication, both verbal and nonverbal. Now, hopefully these questions will be very helpful to you. They open up a conversation that maybe would be hard for you to get to some of these questions just on your own. So use these questions to set up a good conversation, come back to them, and don't forget, we have a lot of topics on our marriage page. Make sure to check those out and make this something that you do regularly as a couple to make your marriage great.